right, so Don, first things first, there's some crazy times going on in the world right now. How are you and the family holding up during this?
Oh, fairly well. I went through a period. I was on the road kind of when this was breaking out. I was doing a play. I was in Chicago, and then we were supposed to be there for a month, and it was somewhere in the middle of that. Towards the end of the second week, it started escalating more and more, and it was expanding in terms of the scope and severity, and we didn't know what was going to happen. Our audiences started getting smaller and smaller because people weren't going out as much.
Oh wow, okay.
In that third week, and then they closed down all the theaters on Broadway towards the end of our third week. And then it was a few days later they notified us that they were going to be closing down also. So we flew home a week early, and when I got home, I'd say a week or so after I got home, I was not feeling great. I'm not sure whether I had it or not, but because some people are not very symptomatic,
sure,
totally without symptoms, or they're very minor symptoms, and then it runs the gamut. But I was very tired for a while, and I thought, well, I'm just tired maybe. But it was weird because I had, not to get into all the stuff, but like my muscles and my legs were really weak, and I was feeling pains in my joints and aches, and and then I'd feel better, and then it would come back.
Oh wow!
And I'm still, and then I thought, like yesterday, I was feeling like the best day I'd had, and now today I was in bed a lot today because I was just so tired. So I don't know what's going. You just don't know, and it's hard to get tested when you're not showing the more severe symptoms.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully I think if it is the actual virus, I feel like I'm sort of battling it and probably on the end stage of it. And luckily it was minor.
Sure.
Is what I'm thinking. So anyway, long answer to that question. Long-winded about it.
But it's like just such weird, scary times. It's almost out of a movie. Like you never, nobody's ever experienced anything like this in our time, and
I know
it's just a scary time.
It is. It's so surreal, and you feel like am I kind of in a dream here? Am I going to wake up?
Right.
But and you realize it's real. It's just so bizarre, and the longer it goes on, it really starts taking a toll, in so many different ways. But hopefully, there are signs that we're on the upswing in terms of maybe letting, the curve is flattening, as they say, and all that.
Right.
And maybe I don't think we're going to be back to anything normal as we know it very soon, but it'll be closer to it.
Right.
A little bit closer to it. So hopefully that'll be coming on. Like that we'll be able to go out a little bit more and maybe travel and do those sort of things. That hold on, I'm sorry. For some reason my iPad had a mind of its own, and all of a sudden, and I don't know what's going on. That is so weird. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, hopefully we're past the worst of this. Is all we can hope for.
How about you as the performer? Whether you're on stage, like you said, doing a play, or the musician in you, the singer in you, does it make you nervous? Because you might not be able to get back on the stage in either capacity until possibly next year, they're saying.
Really? I've heard so many different things. I don't know what the timetable is. Yeah, that is scary. And for everybody, so many, there are some people whose jobs aren't affected, but so many are. And, so even for for something like this, where I had some plays that I was scheduled to be in. There was one that was going to be happening. It's going to happen. All of them, and I had a singing gig in August as well. I even had some in July that got canceled.
Wow.
So, yes,
Nobody knows.
It's such a kind of fluid thing, it's changing. It could change daily, the sort of the forecast or the predictions, prognosis, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But yeah, it is. I mean, then I had another one that I was supposed to be doing in November. So I was originally figuring, okay, well, that's safe, by November. But if what you're hearing is not till 2021, well, then that's a whole different ballgame. Wow.
Right.
That's what you've been hearing, that normal, let's say, like theater and performances and that sort of thing might not be taking place until 21.
Not until 21 next year. Yeah.
Wow.
So you don't know. You hear one thing from one person, one thing from another, and one article says one thing, another article says another. You just don't know.
Yeah, and it could change 10 more times in the next week,
Exactly.
in the next month. Yeah.
So, but the main reason we're here to talk to you today is you have teamed up with your old Happy Days best friend on the show, Anson WIlliams, and you have done this show called Harvest Time. And Don, I got to say, when I sat and watched it the first time, I was kind of in shock and in awe. It was nothing I was expecting from these two guys.
Right. Yeah, definitely not. But that was the idea. We actually did this a little while ago. A producer, David Levin, came to both of us, and we had done some interviews with him on something, and then he was talking about this idea he had for a series to take two very well-known actors from a show, like an iconic duo, and put them in something, because they have great chemistry. They work so well together, and people like seeing them together, and take them and put them in something completely different.
Right.
And then it would be like an anthology show, so that each week, it would be a different duo. It could be, people from Cheers, or it could be people from Friends, or people, on and on, all the different TV shows. But they would be in very different kind of genre of material and different characters, and give them a chance to do something that's really fun for actors to do, and then the audience would be fun for them to see them. And so it sounds like a cool idea, but what do you have? Do you have a script, or what do you got? And friends with a New York playwright by the name of Fred Stroppel, an award-winning New York playwright, and he said he's written all these great one-act. He has a bunch of these one-act plays with mainly two characters. So he said, why don't I send you, see if one of them really hits you. And we figured, okay, maybe they'll be okay, and maybe one will be pretty good, or they won't be any good, that's more often the case than not. And then we got them, and they were all great, really excellent material and great writing. And we were, wow, how do we even pick? They were all so good. But we decided on this one, Harvest Time, and David said, yeah, well, let's go ahead, let's shoot that as the pilot. And Anson directed it, because he's directed so much television, and I've directed too, but I've directed 3 independent films. But he had a lot more experience doing a TV and all different genres. So it was like, okay, he'll direct, but the two of us were going to work so closely together anyway, in terms of working on the acting and the scene itself. So it was a very collaborative kind of thing, and it just came out great, and we loved the process. It's like 25 minutes of 30 minutes of the two of us just going at it with each other, a pretty intense scene. and it's in real time. It's just
Right.
straight. There's no like, okay, now it changes to a different location, or now it's the next day, and there's none of that. It's real time. 25, 30 minutes straight, and it came out great. And we weren't sure whether we had real interest in it from some of the networks, but we weren't happy with they wanted to change certain things, and we were going to lose control, and so we kind of pulled it back, and said, this isn't the right time, and then the producer called us up like a month ago and said, what do you think about, I'm thinking it might be a good time to just put it out there. Like he has a YouTube channel because he produces other things on it. And he said, why don't we put it out, and let everybody put it up there for free, and put that episode up, and just get it out there. Let's see what people think, that kind of. And we said, yeah. I mean, everyone's stuck home, looking for things to watch, and this might be a good time to put it out there and give people some. I mean, it's very funny, so it's entertaining in that way, but it's not the kind of funny, as you alluded to, that people would expect. It's dark comedy, and there's a lot of dark, and there's a lot of language, some raw language, and it gets kind of intense and emotional. But it's still people, the response that we've been getting now that it's been up there has been fabulous. People are going, wow, never expected this, and this was, great, fantastic, or we want to see more, are you going to do more episodes? So the response has been terrific. I mean, there are a few people that were so sort of taken aback and not expecting it, and I think the language, was a problem that could be a problem for some people, and we understand, but it was sort of necessary for the piece, because it's the nature of who these guys are and what they're going through. It's we're not pulling punches. This was the one act play, and it was written so well, and it's integral to the story. It's not just gratuitous,
Right. Yeah, and that was the thing too. Like, seeing you two guys curse was, it's kind of shocking, because you don't expect, people don't expect Ralph to be cursing, but here you are in these two different roles, and you're all grown up and mature, and it's a serious situation that you're dealing with, and you said, not gratuitous at all. It's needed for the scene to go through.
Yeah. This is how people would talk in those situations. I saw a bunch of comments from somebody was like responding to someone else who was raising issues with the language, and this guy was saying, well, sounds like these guys are from Long Island, which he's right, because he said they mentioned the North Shore, that he's getting a job on the North Shore, and he recognized that was Long Island, and he said, I'm from Long Island, and this is exactly how we would talk, and they were being true to the material, and that's what it was about. But like I said, the vast majority of people, see that, get that, and just don't have. I understand some people have problems with language, but that's okay. You can't please everybody all the time. That's the nature of it. But for the, a lot of the comments were, and after about 2 minutes, I forgot it was Ralph and Potsie. For the first 2 minutes, it was like a little jarring seeing us that way, but then I just forgot it, and it got into the story, because it was such a compelling 25 minutes. And, the Anson will, I know you're going to probably be talking to him, and maybe I'll let him set it up, because he sets it up better, in terms of a little bit of the plot as a teaser, so, I'll let him do that, but I'll say it involves a kidney, one of our kidneys.
Now,
I'll leave it at that.
When you guys got approached to do this, and you read the script, was it always going to be you as the brother Billy, because you guys play brothers, but was it always going to be you in the role, and Anson in the role he has?
Well, good question. Yeah, we're brothers. He wound up playing Billy, the older brother, and I'm Mikey.
Okay.
I think. I think that's right. But what happened was Anson was Anson had been spending so much these last years directing, and he wasn't acting. He totally put that aside and was focused on directing, and he was a little bit hesitant about doing it because he said he didn't have the confidence. He's like saying,
Really?
I haven't done it in so long, and this is a pretty intense piece, and da da da. And he was a little uptight about it, and I was like, no, man, you can do this. You definitely can do it. We'll work together. We can rehearse together, and he started feeling more comfortable, because we would be doing it in, working. We did work so well together all those years, and then we stayed in touch with friends. We're like best friends, so that made it a safer, more comfortable environment for him to play in, and that's what happened. So he said, I said, well, which role do you want to play? Because I said I could go either way, and he felt more comfortable playing the older brother. So I said, yeah, that's fine. I think that's probably the best way to go for this piece right now. So that was it. It was, it wasn't like the producer said, oh, I want you to play this character, and then we had big discussions about it. It was a pretty simple conversation. It was like, okay, I'm playing this guy, you're playing that. I said, okay, you got it.
I gotta say too, and compliment Anson, his acting in this is really, it might be some of the best I've seen him do, where, just the reactions alone to the situation and stuff that you bring up in the conversation is just, it's moving. It really is.
Yeah, he did great. And then he downplays it. He goes, because he just hasn't been focused on it. But I think he was pretty, surprised at how well he did. I think he surprised himself because he did great. And, and working together, we were able to just bring out the best in each other,
Now, at any time, did you screwing around while you were doing it? Did you throw an old line out there? Did you ever go at any point I still got it?
Well, that never crept into the scene there at all. No, we were just so focused on this piece and the characters. We shot the whole thing, most of it in one day, and we just spent part of the next day getting a few shots. But Anson came up with a great way to design in directing design in terms of cinematically how it would be shot. Could have been when you have two people in one, say, basically in a room for the whole time. It could be pretty flat, when they try to sometimes shoot like a play and they try to capture it, it comes off flat. It's that proscenium kind of thing. It's not cinematic. But Anson had had directed a TV show that he said, I think this would be, that had a certain style. And he said, I want to use, I think, this style for this piece because it will make you feel like you're really there in the room and that you're not just sort of watching from a distance like an audience member, but that you're right there in the middle of it and like a voyeuristic feel. And so we had several cameras, and Anson, I knew the material so well that we said, okay, and he told the cameras what to be doing, and we just ran through the entire thing with the cameras. We had two cameras doing certain things that he had them do. Then we'd go and back and do it all the way through, for 30 minutes straight, all the way through again. And the cameras were now in different angles and different distances. And we just kept doing that all day, so that the choices that we had, and then I was very involved in the editing. There was a great editor named Scott Scalise, who sadly passed away just a whole few months ago.
Oh, wow.
But I worked with him very closely on the edit, and the choices of shots it was great. It was just great the way like I said, cinematically, he did a great job so that we were able to pick and choose, just the right angle, the right size for the different moments, because there's so many great moments. There's all kinds of twists and turns in this piece, as you know, and to capture it just right was tricky, but we got it. And but so I guess I was getting to. You asked me, was there any temptation to sort of fall back into the Ralph and Potsie thing, and I was saying, no, not for a second. No, we were too caught up in this, and not even a millisecond did it ever go back to Happy Days.
Well, the one thing you brought up too a few times is that, it's 25 minutes long, and it's basically one dialogue. But the thing is, when you push play, you realize it's going to be 25 minutes long. But as you watch it, it doesn't feel like 25 minutes. Like, it goes quick, because you really get sucked into the material and what's going on, and the acting. And so, I mean, that speaks volumes right there for the whole, the writing of it, and you guys portraying it and acting it out. So that speaks volumes right there.
Yeah, it does. You don't feel that past. I mean, the time. It's like it could have been 10 minutes. It feels like it could have been a 10-minute passage of time, and that's, I think, attributed to all those things that I mentioned. It was the coming together of great writing, and then Anson's coming up with really a great directorial design for it, and then the two of us really digging in and doing some of our best work, and all those come together, and then when that happens, it's special, and it doesn't always happen.
Now, have you guys had any other offers, like, over the years to do anything like this together, or?
No, not really. No, because Anson was so, he had really moved into directing and wasn't acting, and so we never had. There was talk way back when we were doing Happy Days. We almost did a spinoff together.
Okay.
We actually shot sort of like a pilot, and it was very close to happening. But at the last second, ABC, I don't know, changed their schedule. They're thinking about it, and then we didn't go on. But I wasn't upset at the time, because I wasn't sure I even wanted to do a spinoff, and I was very hesitant about even agreeing to do it. So because I've been doing that one character for a while, and as it turned out, I wound up about a year after that, my contract was up, and I decided not to renew for to add on. I'd done 7 seasons already,
right?
And Ron Howard and I actually didn't renew at the same time.
Okay.
So the idea of a spinoff, I had mixed feelings about it. But and then in the years after, nothing else had come about, come to us. Nobody had come to us with putting us together in something. This was the first time. But and I'm glad it was in this format, because, like I said, if somebody come to me wanting me to play sort of a similar kind of character in Anson, I don't think I would have been that interested in doing that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, this is totally different, so it's more for you guys.
Yeah. This I was into, because it's great. It's great writing. It's great characters, and that to me is everything. And that's what I've been doing as of late, more than ever, playing all different kinds of characters. Besides this, I have a movie on Amazon Prime right now called MBF, aka Man's Best Friend. And it's a really highly dramatic, powerful film about this wounded vet coming back and trying to, sort of assimilate back into life, and something really horrific happens, and I wind up playing his defense attorney. And it's really a very different kind of role, very dramatic. And then I did another film called Lost Heart, and that's going to be coming out at the end of the summer, early fall, and a very different role again. And the play I was just doing, Middletown in Chicago, a completely different kind of character. And so I'm really enjoying the diversity, having the chance to play a wide variety of roles. That's what it's all about for me.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's good to see you doing all these different things.
Yeah. One perk for getting older is, I guess, it's helping me to, create. There's more time and distance between Happy Days and now, so that more of these roles are coming to me now than they were, 20 years ago when it was a little tough to get away from that,
Cool.
So one good thing about getting older, I guess.
So, all right. So Harvest Time, everybody can see it for free. It's on YouTube.
Yes, yeah, YouTube. If they just there's a YouTube channel it's called Pop Goes the Culture TV, but that's confusing. I would say the easiest way is put in Harvest Time and then either one of our names, Anson WIlliams or Don Most with Harvest Time, and it'll come right up on the search. And yeah, it's available anytime. Watch it for free, and it does happen to be on this YouTube channel called Pop Goes the Culture TV.
Nice. Cool. Don, this has been great catching up with you.
Yeah, you too, Bay. And maybe when I get to Nashville, we'll get to hang out a little.
Absolutely. If you're coming here, you have my number. Hit me up, and we'll get together.
This number, the one that I called in on.
You know what? I sent you a text.
The text. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do. Definitely.
Cool.
All right, very nice talking with you.
You too, Don. Take care.
You too. Stay well.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.